Hey guys, Happy New Year and all that to those who are viewing this now in the new year. I was originally gonna upload this 2 days before, so that like when it's finally uploading, I'll mention a line saying, for those of the people viewing this in 2019, but now we're here, so let's get the ball rolling, shall we? So, this last year has been an interesting one. I'd like to mention the She-Sember Challenge before I begin. Over the past December, I've participated in the She-Sember Challenge on Instagram, created by Marshmax Comics, and I've been mostly drawing women, females, but also fictional characters, which has been my main focus for the whole challenge, but I've also focused on using Clip Studio for the majority of it, and it was fun to learn. I mostly did in black and white, but I did experiment using halftones and just shading in many different ways. It was good to give my Instagram some quality posts, and yeah, I kind of had fun with it because there were a few fictional characters I wanted to do some fan art of, from the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and also that's a highlight of it. I'd say, yeah, it was more like Inktober, but for me it was digital art and not so much anything beyond that. But it was fun to do nonetheless. I learned a bit more about the programs I like to use, and but will it be a good comics program? That's the next question. Aside from December being my highlight in terms of producing art, I also made some connections with a friend of mine in a in a awfully lauded video on the Holly Brown Art Scrub. We we just enjoyed having a conversation together, and that's something I'd really like to do more of in 2019. I think the real issue I have with socializing and using the internet is sometimes one makes it for social media, and it's a whole thing with getting influence, but really you should be focusing on creating the content you like instead of seeking the social validation. And every now and then you may create something very good, and the person who you might actually get a fan, and then that happened last year, in fact, which is good. I mean, if I get one person who likes me and wants to have a conversation, that's good. Yeah, I like to create more products, and I think by the end of this month I'd like to create my Store Envy account, and it's gonna have it's gonna have the same kind of products I actually produced from last year, like the comic Sage Advice. I've got copies of that, and also Ford Falcon GF, and I think I might work on a couple of prints as well. But that'll be a new experience in itself, just making running a store, which will be good for gaining. I guess it'll be kind of a source of income, but actually it's more to do with internet presence and having taking the time to work on my like branding and identity. There's going to be a little change in that. You may see my like YouTube be revamped in order to reflect this. That's definitely, so yeah, making more content instead of like seeking social validation, because it's better to fall back on your own work than having to persuade others. And besides, like, every time I go on, say, Twitter, I feel like I'm at like a table, like a dinner table, being silent in front of the Prime Minister, like trying not to say something that may offend somebody, or they be called the N-word. Not that N-word, by the way. If you know what I mean, if you're all right by that. But, and I know why people go on social media. It has a community, like in the general sense, and also YouTube has a community. But I first need to understand like the methods for how to like engage an audience by, and I think the first step is just by creating content I enjoy. Like I find it interesting. Like try to like with the Shusema challenge, it's mostly been about like the method or technique, and I want to try to get away from that and more focus on content. If that makes sense. Content for my store envy and content for like YouTube. Like I like to do a podcast every week or maybe twice a week. I think I got a better name for it now, like Banecast or something. I like Banecast. If you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I still want to make a webcomic. I think for me, I need to develop a strong character. I think most stories do have a strong character. Even if it like takes 2 months to like do, I'll like to work on and develop. I'll do that because I also want to, as an extension of that work, do the 100 Days of Making Comics Season 2. That's how I'll refer to it. Because if I have a strong character and a theme, perhaps I can feel more confident going in. And I think for my podcast, I'd like to just talk about any news and like related to comics, movies, or film, and while also drawing at the same time. Just have that, and as well as have rants if I feel like it while drawing, because I think that's what people might like expect this channel to become. You know what? I think if I focus on my YouTube more and just make topic video, I think like I can move in the direction I want and work on the quality of my scripts, but also like avoid trying to become another commentary channel, which is another community I don't really want to get too bogged down in. I want to focus on my work and all that, but also provide commentary on it. So yeah, it's alright. I'm just a bit nervous whenever I like try to record these, but in terms of real life, I want to continue going to the gym because it's had like good results so far. They are meager. I've lost like 6 kilos, but so that's still good, and good for my self-esteem, and eating less will definitely contribute to that, you know, calorie deficit and whatnot. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say on that. This time lapse you see is like it's pretty much a new avatar in production for me. This is based off the Spider Sona like challenge. Well, it's more like people making their own like versions of Spider-Man. I guess that relates to like the Into the Spider-Verse movie, which is really good actually. I'd recommend seeing it. But yeah, here's to a new year, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.